to Space City Home Network's presentation of Houston Astros baseball. Your front row seat to the Astros and Rockets.
The Lone Star Series on SCHN is presented by HEB. Tonight from Arlington, Texas, inside Globe Life Field. The Astros and the Rangers play Game 3 of a 4-game series. Both teams winning a game apiece thus far. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Todd Callis alongside Jeff Blum. Glad you could join us for another night of Astros baseball. Blummer, a bad start to the game yesterday, 8-0 after 1. But the Astros hung around and made a game out of it.
They did. They scored plenty of runs to go ahead and make Shoemaker go out there and get into his bullpen. I think what's interesting about watching tonight's game is see how he uses that bullpen after having to use his closer.
It'll be interesting to watch Game 3 tonight. Our What's on Tap is presented by Lawnmower Blonde. And What's on Tap for the Astros is what they've done offensively the last 3 games.
Yeah, you love watching the Astros go out there and put up some big offensive numbers to protect this pitching staff that's actually been pitching pretty well here in the month of May. But the last couple of games, you can see 24 runs, 27 hits. They are starting to drive the ball too. We saw that last night with some of the home runs going out of here at a great distance. But if you can continue this offense and get this pitching staff to continue to do what they're doing, it could be a good stretch for the Astros.
Astros have seen Jacob deGrom already this season, but when he pitches at home, he is really nasty.
Yeah, this ballpark has actually turned into a pitcher's ballpark despite what the Astros have been able to do in the last couple of games. But they would like to have Jacob deGrom continue to do what he's doing here at home. A 2.10 ERA is beautiful. He does not walk a lot of guys. You are going to have to fight him inside the zone. And if you do decide to chase, it might end up in one of those strikeouts.
Astros in the last matchup with deGrom won the game 4-2 thanks to 4 solo home runs, matching the most he's allowed in any start of his career. Astros looking for more of that tonight. We'll tell you how they made adjustments with Jeremy Pena when we come back.
For the pitcher.
The big man keeps rolling. The Lone Star Series on SCHN is presented by HEB. Here, everything's better. Houston Astros baseball on SCHN is presented by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. And by Nava Law Group. You got hurt. Make them pay. DoNotSettle.com. Back indoors for Game 3 of this 4-game series. Astros and Rangers from Globe Life Field in Arlington. Both teams winning a game thus far. Tonight's teaching moment with Blummer is presented by Kelsey Siebold.
Appreciate that, TK. The Astros have a very tough customer in Jacob deGrom. If you don't get him inside the zone and you have a tendency to chase, it's going to make for a long evening. And you can see Jeremy Pena, the first time through facing deGrom last season, had a very tough time. 2 strikeouts, 6 pitches, but it involved a little bit of chase and a good job of setting him up by Jacob deGrom with the fastball and slider on the outside. But recognize a lot of these pitches on that outside edge. The next time Jeremy faces Jacob deGrom, he's a little more disciplined, understands he's going to be on that outside edge, and finally gets a pitch that he can handle and doesn't miss it. There is going to be some chase involved, but you've got to understand, controlling the outer third against Jacob deGrom is key. And if you get a pitch elevated and up out over the plate, that's where you can do some damage. The Astros have had success against deGrom with the long ball, notably on fastballs that have been elevated in the zone. So if you can lay off that outside edge and force him onto the plate, you're going to give yourself a chance against a very good pitcher.
Last night they were able to put 4 runs on Jack Leiter in 6 innings. You see some similarities going back-to-back with those two?
I actually like the fact that the Astros are facing Leiter last night and facing Jacob deGrom today because they are very similar. They're power fastball guys. They both have excellent sliders that they throw 90 to 92 miles an hour and live on that outer third to right-handed hitters. Left-handed hitters have hit more home runs against deGrom, but I think that's because the four-seamer and the slider come into them. But if you're a right-handed hitter and you can lay off that slider, you're going to give yourself a real chance. And this is going to be a tough challenge for deGrom. He understands what the Astros have done to him in the past. This will be the starting lineup presented by Whataburger. Jeremy Pena is going to be at the top of that lineup. We highlight him because last night he hit his first tank of the year against Jacob Latz, who does not give up many home runs, if any at all. Yordan Alvarez, Christian Walker, and then you're going to see a hodgepodge of guys at the bottom of that line if they're going to try and get it done against DeGrom.
Well, there he is, Jacob DeGrom, making his second start of the season against the Astros. He has twice in his career given up 4 home runs, including his last time out against Houston at Dyken Park. Actually has pitched since then on that road trip where the Rangers went 3-6 and fared even worse against the Angels. Lasted just 3 innings and gave up 6 earned runs against the Angels. But he's back home where he has a 1.14 ERA this year compared to a 6 ERA away from Globe Life Field. In that Kelsey Siebold teaching moment, we showed you what was key for Pena against DeGrom. We'll see if it pays off tonight. The first pitch is a slider and a swinging strike, and we're underway. Jeremy, as you can see with those numbers against DeGrom, a 4 for 10, a double, a home run. DeGrom has struck him out 4 times in the 6 at-bats that Pena does not have a hit. Jeremy puts this one in play, shallow center. Evan Carter covers a lot of ground out there and easily gets to that fly ball. As Pena skies one to center for the first out of this game.
I do like that the first 2 pitches were on the plate for Jeremy Pena. You'll see it on our UT-MD Anderson strike zone that those sliders were actually on the plate. Maybe just got a little bit quick on that pitch.
Yordan Alvarez kind of late drifting into the batter's box. He looked up at the pitch timer and he's like, wait, I haven't even dug in yet. So he uses his timeout before first pitch is thrown. But that's not a problem for Yordan because a lot of times he won't leave the batter's box the rest of the AB. As he takes a pitch off the plate, continues to work on that back foot anchor. Yordan hitting 2 home runs in last night's game, has 3 home runs in this series, and continues to pummel pitching here at Globe Life Field. Yordan takes one inside. It's 2-0. Yordan has 3 career hits against DeGrom. 2 of the 3 hits are home runs, including 1 of the 4 Jacob allowed in Houston 2 starts ago. That's on the plate for a strike, says Quinn Wolcott. It's 2-1. Wolcott, part of Adrian Johnson's crew. 4-game series. Everybody in the crew gets at least 1 turn behind home plate. That's off the plate. Nothing new for DeGrom staying away, but especially against Yordan Alvarez. Nobody throws more pitches away of qualified pitchers than Jacob DeGrom. Does catch the plate with that one. It's now 3-2. Called third strike. Yordan thought about trying to challenge but decides not to. He's only challenged 1 pitch so far in the ABS system, and that's out number 2.
This one comes back and catches that UT-MD Anderson strike zone, as you can see. Matches from Supermo is going to show the spin and just enough cut to get back on that outer third.
Yordan up to the 2 spot tonight with Christian Walker batting third with no Isaac Paredes in the lineup. And here is CW. Christian takes one down for a ball. It's been a tough go for Walker against Jacob DeGrom in his career. Just 2 for 21 with 10 strikeouts. As you can see, the 2 hits have been home runs, including 1 on a first pitch fastball back in Houston in the last time they met up. But DeGrom has won the head-to-head series between these 2. Puts the ball on the ground to short. Ezekiel Duran makes the play, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for Jacob DeGrom. Mike Burrows gets the ball in the bottom half of the first inning.
They're going to line up Jock Peterson, Alejandro Osuna, Brandon Nimmo, Josh Young, Jake Berger, Evan Carter, Ezekiel Duran, and Danny Jansen. And Nicky Lopez is now in that lineup in the 9 spot. Evan Carter, 3 for 4 last night, was a double away from a cycle against the Astros in that big output from the Rangers last night.
Mike Burrows making the start today for Houston, his 11th start of the season, 5 at home, 5 on the road. This is now 4 of his last 5 away from Dyken Park. He's actually pitched better away from Houston, although the first pitch of this game is driven into center field. And Jock Peterson has a leadoff single here against Burrows to get things going for the Rangers, who scored 8 runs in the first inning in last night's game.
We're off to an electric start here, just taking that first pitch fastball and going back up the middle for Jock Peterson. Rangers getting started early.
Rangers were no hit the night before, but then put up 8 runs in Tuesday night's game. And they had 11 men hit in that first inning against Jason Alexander. To Jason's credit, and he's no longer with the Astros as he was optioned after the game, but he would go 5 more innings beyond that first inning disaster and only allow 1 more base runner the rest of the way after the 11 batter 8-run inning. Now Burrows scoots one past Christian Vasquez to the backstop. It's 2-0 on Osuna, and it's a wild pitch to put a runner in scoring position with nobody out.
There's a changeup pulled across to the inside. You can see Vasquez was set up on the outer third.
Osuna shows bunt, takes the pitch down and in for ball 3. So a first pitch swing and a base hit for Peterson, followed by a 3-0 count to Alejandro Osuna. Osuna's been on base 15 of the last 16 games, and Skip Schumacher has moved him into the 2nd spot in the lineup for the first time during this series. It's now 3-1 on the 23-year-old outfielder. Punches one foul. Giving it a look is Taylor Trammell, and it will bounce off the screen. Trammell couldn't quite get there. Didn't miss the foul line by a lot.
Oh, it didn't.
Osuna never thought it was going to be fair. He didn't really run out of the batter's box.
This is where I like having a left-handed pull guy hitting behind the leadoff man who gets on base. You can just pull the ball on the ground and move him to third base, have a good team at bat. And if you hit it well enough, maybe you get a base hit out of it. But Osuna's not a guy that's going to pull the ball very often.
Goes the other way. Trammell going back, still going back, makes the catch over his shoulder. Peterson will tag on that deep fly ball, and he'll get to third. Good job by Peterson advancing on that line drive to left.
The player to watch is presented by Jack in the Box, and we're talking about Mike Burrows and his fastball. It's been a little bit of an issue. Overall 375 against, but first pitch swinging. We just saw Jock Peterson get a base hit on a first pitch fastball. That average coming into this game at 471. And when hitters have the count in their favor, they're hitting 381 against it. But keep an eye on that slug number. Those are large slug numbers against that fastball. A pitch that Mike Burrows is trying to correct and use a little more effectively.
Infield in tight on Brandon Nimmo here with a runner on third and 1 out in the first inning. And Vasquez trying to backpick it. He almost got Jock Peterson.
Wow, it looked like the ball beat him, didn't it?
It looked like he was out by the naked eye, but called safe by Adrian Johnson. Joe Espada is going to see if we have a camera angle that's going to show him out or not. He's waiting for a vote of confidence from his video crew.
Man.
And no challenge.
It looked like the ball beat him. It's in the glove, but the tag just never got on Jock Peterson, who in desperation went to the outside of the bag away from Braden Shoemake.
That should have been an out. That would have been a huge back pick out.
Yeah, would have.
The ball beat Peterson there. The tag was just not quick enough. Two-0 the count to Nimmo.
Now, Shoemake is usually a guy that is playing shortstop or up the middle, third base, a little bit new.
And it comes back to hurt the Astros as Nimmo delivers a base hit to right. That'll be an RBI. The Rangers out in front 1-0 on Nimmo's 19th run batted in on the year. How about the Astros starting defense tonight? It is presented by Xfinity. Day off yesterday for Christian Vasquez. He's back in there as the catcher for Mike Burrows. We saw Braden Shoemake almost make that play at third base, but unable to get the tag down in time. Jeremy Pena to his left. Bryce Matthews at second base tonight with Christian Walker. In the outfield, Taylor Trammell, Jake Myers, and Cam Smith from left to right. Here's Josh Young. Young sends one into center field. That'll be down for a hit. Stopping at second base is Nimmo. Third hit of the inning for the Rangers, and they are trying to replicate what they did in last night's game in the first inning.
They were aggressive yesterday. They're aggressive today, but they're now have 2 hits of the 3 in this ball game off first pitch fastballs. That one elevated, not hit hard, but hit well enough to become a base hit.
Four batters in, only 11 pitches thrown by Burrows. That included a full count line out to Alejandro Osuna, the only out of the inning. Now Jake Burger, the batter. Burger goes after the first pitch as well, and he'll pop one foul and out of play. Only other time Burrows has faced the Rangers was with the Pirates last June the 20th. It's a swinging strike here, and it's 0-2 to Jake Burger. Burger leads the team in runs batted in. Had a couple with the bases loaded yesterday in the first inning. Ball hit into center field. Back goes Jake Myers over his head. Makes a great catch running straight away from home plate. That ball was tagged on an 0-2 pitch. But Myers makes the catch for the second out.
Yeah, TK, that ball was hit extremely well in that 2-strike count. This is a curveball right down the middle of the plate, and Jake Myers has to go back and reach up. That was 109.1 off the bat. Straight over the head of Jake Myers. Nice adjustment and great catch.
One thing Burrows would like to improve on after his first 10 starts of the year, a lot of 2-strike hard contact. And as he said, that was an 0-2 pitch that had a lot of the plate. Here's Evan Carter. Carter, as Blummer mentioned, with that 3-hit game yesterday, had a triple and a home run in the first 3 innings. And capped his night in his last at bat with a single. It was a second triple and a 6th home run. That's a new career high for Carter in home runs with a half dozen. Takes a strike here. It's 0-1.
There's a 95% catch probability. That did not look like an easy play at all.
Jake had to go back in a hurry and make that play. Both outs have been hard hit here by the Rangers in the first. Trammell had to go to deep left to make the catch on Osuna, and then Jake straight away to retire Jake Burger. This one popped foul and out of play. It's 1-2. Off the plate, 2-2 to Carter. 4 of the first 6 hitters in the lineup, including the top 3, are left-hand hitters. And their new second baseman, the number 9 hitter as well, lefty Nicky Lopez. Got him. Burrows picks up a strikeout to end the inning, but the Rangers on the board with a run on 3 hits, lead at 1-0 after 1.
The power play is presented by HEB. And man, did we see some power plays last night. The longest home runs at Globe Life since 2024 all happened last night. Cam Smith, 457. Jeremy Pena's was 454. And the shortest on that list, Yordan Alvarez, with just a modest 449 on his home run. But the Astros tagged the Rangers for a couple of home runs and 3 tape measure shots here at Globe Life since 2024.
And we were talking earlier, Blummer, about the ball not traveling as well here as it used to, but the Astros figured it out last night.
Man. And I was down on the field. Sparky and I were talking to Jake Myers going, hey, do you feel like the ball's traveling as much as it has in the past? And Jake said, nope. So it kind of puts that in perspective with those 3 home runs that the Astros hit last night.
Yeah, he said it's really changed the last couple of years. The ball not carrying the center. Taylor Trammell leads off with a 2-0 count. Trammell with a line drive base hit into the corner here and right. Trammell will take the turn and head to second. Played there by Nimmo, but Taylor has himself a stand-up double to lead off the second inning.
Nice swing by T-Mail. He got a mistake fastball in at 98. Just buggy whipped this one down the line at 111.4 off the bat. No chance for Berger to get to that one.
So the Astros have their first base runner. Now Cam Smith will bat. Cam continues to have a good road trip.
All in all the time is presented by Daly and Black. Cam Smith, first 18 games of this month. An OPS of 414. How about the last 6? 940. A lot of that due to that last number, the chase percentage dropping 10%. Not getting out of the zone, getting some counts in his favor, and getting some pitches out of the plate that he can handle.
Hits this ball deep to right field, deep enough to advance the runner. Nimmo will make the catch. Trammell will tag and move to third. Cam flies out to deep right, and now the Astros have a runner on third with 1 out.
It's a slider away, but it was elevated. And probably a good thing it did just move just a little bit off the barrel, because Cam put a pretty good swing on that. And off the end of the bat, still able to drive it about 350 feet.
Now the infield in, and Braden Shoemake will be the batter. Shoemake faced DeGrom in that start that Jacob made against the Astros on May the 16th at Dyken Park. That was the first time he saw him. Went 0 for 3 in that game with a strikeout. Now trying to get one through a drawn-in infielder, hit a deep enough fly ball to tie this game.
Yeah, definitely put the infield in. Look for something you can drive to the outfield.
That would make Dana Brown happy. He has been watching every game in this series from the stands. He did not want to mess with the mojo of the team, who had won 4 in a row and had been scoring runs at a high rate. So he said, I'm not going to even bother with the GM box. I'm going to sit in the stands with my wife and watch the game.
Good for him. Team player.
He's also going to be a guest of ours in the booth in the top half of the 3rd inning. There he is, GM of the Astros, out amongst the fans here at Globe Life Field, and he'll be in the booth here when the Astros bat in the 3rd. It's down for a ball, 2-2.
It would be nice for the Astros to answer here pretty quick after the Rangers put that run on the board in the bottom of the 1st.
Shoemake skies one to center field, way deep enough to score the run. All the way back to the wall is Carter. Taylor Trammell can walk backwards into home plate. He will trot home, and the game is tied at 1. Good job by Shoemake on the sac fly.
Got a center cut fastball, and that was definitely something that he could drive to the outfield. Picks up that stake at third base, less than 2. Take advantage of that poor slider and get that RBI.
Yeah, DeGrom's initial reaction was, I know I gave up the run. Hopefully it's only 1.
Yeah, keep it in the ballpark.
Well, Blummer, another example like the first game of the series where the Astros get a runner on and then advance them with a couple of outs.
Team baseball's fun, isn't it? It's kind of great. Joe Espada mentioned that in the first game for the Astros, where they scratched and clawed, scored a run in the 1st inning without getting a hit. But good team baseball gets everybody involved, and you start to rally around each other, and good things happen.
Again, Jacob DeGrom here at home, a 1.14 ERA in his 4 starts this year. We showed you his numbers going back to last season are lethal as well here at Globe Life Field. So tying up this game right away is a big deal here. Myers down in the count 0-2. Jake has not enjoyed facing Jacob deGrom in his career. He's 0 for 7 with 3 strikeouts as he fouls one into the Rangers dugout. Jake had the night off last night. Played in the first game and batted 5th in the game on Monday evening. Loses his helmet, but staying alive at 0-2. DeGrom now 37 years old, looking for his 100th career victory. He's been stuck on 99 for his last 2 starts, and he gets a called third strike on Myers here to end the inning. Both strikeouts have been called thirds. Astros do tie the game up. It's 1-1 heading to the bottom of the second. Time to take a look at tonight's Chevy Stroh Poll. It's a tough one. There are some really good choices. Which Astro star has been the team's best defensive player so far in 2026? A. Jeremy Pena. B. Cam Smith. C. Christian Walker. Go to Space City HN. Use the hashtag Stroh Poll. All having excellent defensive years. Obviously, Jeremy in limited games compared to Cam and Christian. Really having a great defensive road trip. 0-1 to Ezekiel Duran as we start the bottom of the second, and he's now down in the count 0-2. Mike Burrows giving up 3 singles in the first inning, including an RBI single by Brandon Nimmo. The Rangers, as we mentioned in that first, scored 8 runs yesterday after being no-hit on Monday. That was the second most runs ever scored by a team who had been no-hit the game before. There was a doubleheader between the Chicago White Sox and Boston Americans back in 1905, where the White Sox were no hit in the first game and then scored 9 in the second game of the doubleheader. Talk about a quick turnaround. 0-2 the count to Ezekiel Duran. Then they added 5 more the next inning. They were up 14-0. And it was starting to get dark, and the manager said, do not score any more runs. We need this to be an official game. And ended up being 15-1, and the game was halted by darkness after 6 innings. No worries about that here as the Astros and Rangers play the bottom half of the second inning in a 1-1 game. Ezekiel Duran, Danny Jansen, and Nicky Lopez due up. A little ground ball to the left side. Shoemake cuts across to make the play for out number 1. Julia.
Hey, the shiner spotlight falls on Jeremy Pena. You're talking about his great defense. Lately, we've seen some great plays from him coming off the IL. He's looked 100% easy. Lots of double plays that he started to. Pitchers giving him credit. Seems like almost daily for some kind of great play behind him. Tony Perez-Chica told me this guy brings so much range, so that's the difference when he's in the infield. And then there's the leadership. He's not the most vocal guy out there, but there are little things that he does on each play to really lead the defense when he's out there. He also said that whole group that we're watching, they put so much work in spring training on their defense and being ready for all these big moments, and it shows, but they continue to do the work. That's the thing about this group that is led by guys like Jeremy Pena, of course, Carlos Correa, Jose Altuve. They don't stop working. It continues to be done throughout the season. Look at Tony working. He's always working.
He is. Again, the behind the scenes, there's always the game within the game. If you watch Tony Perez-Chica move the infielders and Jason Bell move the outfielders, it's a constant choreograph of motion from the infield and outfield coach. Jason Bell is usually on the outside part of the dugout watching his outfielders. He was just talking with Taylor Chamel before that last pitch. And Perez-Chica always has the charts right near Joe Espada and Omar Lopez on the inside part of the dugout. They're positioning guys batter to batter, making sure everybody's where they need to be. There's Jay Bell. He's staring. All right, is that guy right? Yep, he's right. Is that guy right? Yep. It's great, isn't it?
Man, it's just like an orchestra or choreography that these guys have, moving them all over the place.
And you're wondering, why is Perez-Chica changing his defense in the mid at bat because it changes with 2 strikes.
The counts change everything.
So Nicky Lopez in his first at bat as a Ranger grounds one to Christian Walker. Those last 2 outs were quick. Hopefully Dana Brown will be here at the start of the top of the 3rd. He just left his seat.
Let's all play ball. Don't miss Play Ball Weekend coming up on June 5th through the 7th, encouraging youth everywhere to get out and play. You can visit playball.org to register for a free event near you today. Dana Brown make it to get?
He did. How fast are you?
Fast.
You have a lot of speed.
I got speed, man. I got speed.
You need a rocket to get up here to the moon where we watch these games from.
You left with 1 out in the inning.
Yeah, I got skills.
Dana Brown.
Wait a minute. We heard about your racing skills, though.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. Pulled the hammy 10 yards in.
You pulled it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. What was your rehab like?
Just walking.
No time at Sugarland.
No time at Sugarland.
Dana Brown, the GM, joining us in the booth. D. Brown, it's been a good road trip. It can get even better with a win tonight or tomorrow or both. What have you seen on this trip that you've really liked?
Yeah, I mean, look, the pitching has really stepped up, the starting pitching. It's been really fun to watch. The bats are heating up, and we've really been catching the baseball. You know, very impressive defense. So those 3 things will combine to some wins, and it's really good to see.
Yeah, it's been really good to see the month of May turn for the pitching staff. And I think what's interesting about that is that they're a little more in the zone. They're using the defense you're talking about. But how great is it to see this kind of trending in the right direction when you have guys on the injured list that could possibly be coming back and making it even better?
Yeah, it's a great time to, really heat up. You have some guys coming back off the IL, and you get those guys back in the middle of heating up. That's a good recipe.
Matthews hits the ball sharply, but at the third baseman, Young, and he is out number 1 here in the 3rd inning. Of the guys on the IL right now, you've got your Cy Young finalist pitching his first game on Sunday, and now he's going to go again on Friday. Is the closest guy right now Josh Hader?
Yes, Hader is the closest guy. We're going to give him back-to-back today and tomorrow. And then depending on how he feels after that, we'll cross that bridge, and he should be back early next week.
How much fun is it to watch some of the younger guys, the Cam Smiths, the Bryce Matthews, even Braden Shoemaker, some of these guys come in and do a really good job. Most notably, Bryce Matthews and Cam Smith have kind of stepped it up a little bit and forced their way into the lineup. It's been fun.
Yeah, nothing like these guys coming in and, adding some help, particularly when you're banged up with the IL that we have. And, Cam Smith's bomb last night, man, that was something special. I think we're going to see a little bit more of that. Before he drove one to center field, got it real good, hit that ball last inning to get the guy over to third base really well. So he's turning the corner.
Let's a little more with those guys as Vasquez shoots one down the right field line foul, because you pretty much know. I know Christian Walker and Jordan are having huge seasons, but you pretty much know what you're going to get from your veteran infielders and from Jordan, even Jake Myers in center. Is it the X factor and how well your season goes offensively, what those young outfielders do for you, whether it's the 2 guys we mentioned or Zach DeCenzo or Zach Cole, who had his chance and might have another chance later?
Yeah, if we get 2 or 3 of those guys to step it up, that would be really good for this offense. And then, of course, once we solidify that pin when we get our guys, that rotation when we get our guys back, that combination of the young guys stepping up, a stronger rotation will lead to a lot more wins.
It's always tough being in your position and watching a game like yesterday. Jason Alexander gave up those 9 runs in the first, but the fact that he put up 5 more innings, can you explain how important that is to your bullpen?
Yeah, it's massive because you don't have to use your bullpen to get through a game. Now, look, if there's a close game today, we could really, get our big guys in there, and you didn't have to use those guys yesterday. So the fact that he went, 6 innings it's really massive.
Jeremy Pena bats with 2 outs. Mike Burrows getting the start today. What is the key for you to see Burrows become that guy you knew you wanted at the trade when you made that trade with the Pirates?
Yeah, when he gets to the point where you can go 5 pitches or less, put guys away early, and expand when you get ahead in the count, I think that's the difference. He's 1 pitch away or 1 inning away from being good.
We have a 1-2 rating, of course. D. Brown, probably have to go back and watch the game with your wife, or can you stay for a half?
Yeah, I can stay for another half.
You're good?
Yeah, I'm
all
good.
right, because I know Blummer has another question or 2 for you.
All right.
Yeah.
Back after this.
Hit me up.
1-1 game, bottom half of the third inning. We have fixed Dana Brown's chair, so now you're on our level height-wise. I will never be on Blummer's level height-wise, but you're on my level at least.
Yeah, you guys had me looking
we
like
had to
Gary
bring it up
Coleman.
a little bit. Yeah.
Little guys, fast enough. Boost them up a little bit.
All right. I had the
elevated.
last question, so Blummer gets to start the new questions here in the bottom of the third.
Oh, man. Trying to regroup here.
Oh, is that
It's a fair ball.
No, that
Was
his
off
foot.
his knee.
But that would have been nice, huh?
That would have been nice. Hey, sitting in the stands is one thing. The other is to sit there. Were you here for the no-hitter?
Yes, I was.
How incredible was that?
Front row seat, very good. You know, started off slow. A little bit of panic mode for me, but you know.
Yeah, you're kind of an emotional watcher of games.
Yeah, I am. It's a lot easier to handle myself when I'm out in public.
This ball hit deep. Jock Peterson knows he got that one. Peterson hits his second home run in as many games. It's now 2-1 in favor of the Rangers.
That was a changeup. Some of the misses from Mike Burrows in this game have been over the heart of the plate, that middle third. This was a changeup over that middle third. It was down a little bit, but Jock Peterson was able to get a hold of this one. We'll see it on the replay here. That's a veteran getting the arms extended right there and getting that ball out of here. But just going back to the good times of that no-hitter, we talked about you being in the stands. There was a key piece that finished off that game. Alimber Santa came in and looked beautiful in those 2 innings. I was impressed with how aggressive he was in the zone with his stuff.
Yeah, the sweeper was really working. You know, it was very effective. And then he threw a couple of those fastballs that exploded up there. And so he's looking really good with that 2-pitch mix. And, yeah, we're looking forward to seeing a lot more of him and, you know, get him some more competitive innings. And I know those were very competitive innings because of the no-hitter, but, you know, hopefully he can press some high leverage innings.
So fans are wondering probably, in addition to being able to sit with your lovely bride, why are you not in the general manager's box in this series?
Yeah, look, we've been scoring some runs, and, you know, I didn't start off. I was not with the club early. I was, you know, scouting and seeing some of our top picks that we're looking at the SEC tournament, picked up and joined the club here, and we have been rolling. So I said, let me stay out of there.
So you let the rest of your group, the guys.
Yeah, I let Anthony and the boys, you know, hang in there. And so, you know, we've been scoring runs, so I decided to still sit in the seats. And, you know, it's one way for me to control my emotions is when I'm in the seats, I can't show, you know, really some of the times what I'm thinking.
Yeah, because we have a camera on you.
Yeah.
Ground ball slowly hit. That'll be played by Bryce Matthews for the first out of the inning.
What is it like for you to go scout, get back out there and kind of get back to your roots a little bit and go to these places like the SEC tournament and watch really good baseball?
Yeah, just trying to lend a helping hand, you know, to some of the scouting staff and, you know, give them some information in terms of what my experiences are with some of the players and just try to help out. So we did, you know, we have 2 first-round picks and we want to make sure we get both those picks right. And so we feel like that's important to collectively as a group, you know, we put our heads together and there's, you know, wisdom in a multitude of counsel.
Is there a different level of excitement from your group going into this draft with the draft capital that you have for the first time in a while?
Yes, 4 picks in the top 100, you know, that's pretty good. And so 2 first-rounders, you know, courtesy of Hunter Brown finishing in the top 3. And so, yeah, we're excited about those 2 first-round picks and getting 4 picks in the top 100. We should come away with some pretty good players.
Dana Brown joining us in the booth. Blummer and I always rave about how fast Jose Altuve recovers from injuries. What's the latest on Tuve? We're hearing good things.
Yeah, so he's down taking some swings in the cages in Florida, and so, you know, that's pretty impressive. This guy heals so fast.
It's miraculous. You could do some testing on him, huh?
Unbelievable. I haven't seen a guy heal that fast. You know, he has that young body, you know, and so that's always helpful in terms of healing. So, but that's great.
Well, I think it is great, and I agree with you. He does kind of have that young body, and he's also understanding that he's chasing a little bit of history, so the more he's on the field, the better. Mm-hmm. But speaking of health, the fact that Christian Walker broke this season out of spring training healthy has made a world of difference for him. He's been playing at brilliant first base as he picks this one up and steps on the bag for the second out of the inning. But his all-around game is just completely stepped up from last year.
Yeah, he's been really good. And you know what happens is some success early will turn into confidence, and that's always very helpful in this sport. You know, baseball is that roller coaster ride of emotions, and early success can really bring a lot of confidence, and he's really feeling good about himself right now. And it's good to see, because when we signed him, we knew that he was this caliber of player. He's actually playing better now than he had been playing in Arizona, so he's off to a pretty good start. So we hope he keeps it up.
Dana, the Astros with a great opportunity to have a winning road trip, and then you are home for the first long homestand of the season. And you probably know this as well as anybody. May did not have any off days at home for the entire month. It's been since April 23rd. We'll talk about this another time. D. Brown, thanks for joining us.
All right, fellas, good to have you.
Great to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being up here.
Thanks for you having me on.
Dana Brown joining us as 2-1 Rangers.
Get Out and Play is driven by Toyota. Yordan Alvarez going deep not once but twice in last night's game, adding to his impressive total of home runs against the Texas Rangers. 78 games, almost half a season of games, 25 home runs, driven in 63 so far. OPS just a touch over 1,000. Guys, I asked some of his teammates to help me describe what he's doing. Jeremy Pena promised me he'd come up with something, but he's still working on it. He's speechless. The problem is it's hard to describe Yordan Alvarez.
I agree.
Well, you feel like when you actually maybe wrap your head around what he's been able to do and talk about it, he does something better. Or he keeps doing it at a greater clip, and you're just going, wow. Yeah, he's amazing.
And there's so many parts of the game that he doesn't get recognized for that he's so good at. One of them is controlling the zone. The other is he's one of the smartest base runners in baseball. And he's also really good at thinking about how a pitcher wants to set him up and taking a pitch that he's expecting and doing damage to it.
So he struck out on a backdoor slider his previous at bat. What was the first pitch he swung at? He was looking to hammer that first pitch slider. And you see a guy like this take a swing like that, and all of a sudden you got to maybe alter your game plan a little bit.
When you go to school after the first at bat, then you come back and hit over 400.
This is great.
And have 8 home runs. Because you've seen him once and you know how he attacked you the first time. This ball hit to center field straight away. Evan Carter back. He's done it again. Give him 9. Man. Second time through the lineup. Give him 19 on this season. Julia's right. It's hard to describe Yordan Alvarez. We're tied at 2 on a blast to straightaway center.
Yeah, he's gone freak mode again. He has the talent and the knowledge to go together, and that's what makes him a lethal hitter. And he just proved our graphic correct, as we have to add to it. 19th home run of the season, is tied for first with Murakami out there on the south side, but he took a slider deep to center. That's the same pitch he struck out on. He got the mistake, and guess what? Did not miss it.
It's amazing how he helps our stories and pays them off for us.
I mean, that might be the greatest thing about him for us.
Julia teed it up. We extended the conversation, and he delivered exactly what we were talking about. He's amazing. Jeremy Pena better come up with some way to describe him.
Well, let me ask you something, because I'm sure you get the same questions that I get when you start to float around a ballpark, and we're lucky enough to watch a guy like Yordan over the years. Is they'll come up and go, he's hitting 300? Like, I get that question a lot. They're like, is he really hitting? I'm like, yes, he is really hitting 300 and leading the league in home runs. That's another added value of Yordan.
Yeah, 414 OPS coming in. I mean, he's 414 on base percentage coming in. 1,045 OPS. Nobody else in the majors has 1,000 OPS.
Nobody's over 1,000, just one.
Yeah, just one guy.
Yeah, he's on the blue and orange team.
Yeah. That was well struck. I watched Yordan. He knew he got it right away. Carter wasn't sure because, as you said, Jake Myers has been talking about the ball not carrying to center field. But Carter went back there thinking he had a shot, and that was well over the center field wall.
Well, the key to being a good power hitter is knowing your pop. He knows his pop.
He knew that was well struck as Christian Walker has a 3-2 count here. His third career home run against Jacob deGrom. He's now 4 for 8 in his career against deGrom with 3 homers. ball to center. Playable for Carter. He started back after watching Jordan's ball sail out. Now he comes in. There's one away in the inning.
There's that slider. He was out there looking on the outside. You could see the jump from DeGrom as he knew this ball was barreled. Not one of the more prodigious shots, but still enough. 428 to center for Jordan Alvarez. I remember as a young player, I'm not sure, yeah, we got time. I remember as a young player, I came up with a guy named Vladimir Guerrero Sr. now, and he was fun to watch in Double-A as he went from Double-A to the big leagues. Hold on, I gotta watch this. Man, he controls the barrel as good as Altuve does too with some of these pitches. But you get to the big leagues, and Vladimir Guerrero got better because I think he saw better pitching, but he started to do things that you were just going, oh my gosh, this guy is going to end up being in the Hall of Fame with the way he's able to do this if he's able to stay healthy. And I feel the same way about Jordan. But we had a third base coach named Pete McCannon after, a game, another base hit from Trammell. We had a game where I'm sitting on the bench with guys like Mike Mordecai, Ryan McGuire, Ryan Miner. We're just sitting there just watching Vlad hit bomb after bomb. And Pete McCannon comes in. He goes, man, is that guy not unbelievable? We're like, yeah. And he points at me, both Ryans, Mike Mordecai. And he goes, you know what? You guys will never be as good as that guy.
What can you say to that?
And we said, we know, but we love watching it because it's so entertaining to watch somebody be able to overwhelm the game and be that much better than you at this level. And I think that's where Jordan's at. He's just a blast to be able to watch on a daily basis.
And I think there's a lot of guys that would say on a truth meter they feel that same way. Now,
right?
They'll never be as good as you.
Never.
No.
But I get to sit here next to it and watch it.
So much fun. By the way, Taylor Trammell, who has never hit second, third, or fourth in a major league lineup before tonight, is now 2 for 2 in the cleanup spot, batting fourth tonight. As he gets a single here with one out ahead of Cam Smith, who has a 1-1 count.
There might be a notepad in Joe's little notebook that he has that maybe writing tomorrow's lineup already with Trammell in the same spot.
Taylor getting it done in the 4 spot today. Thought about trying to steal a bag. He is 1 for 1 in steals, but he kind of bluffed, and now Dave Clark will tell him about the time that DeGrom has going to home plate.
That was a really good take by Cam Smith on that previous slider.
That's kind of the reason for his success lately, right?
Yeah, we showed it earlier with a 32% chase percentage in the first 18 games of this month, but the last week he has dropped that by 10% to 22%, and now you've got the count in your favor, and you kind of force the pitcher into the zone here 2-1, or else he's going to fall behind 3-1. Got a good slider to hit, but maybe not sitting on it.
How about more on Cam with Julia?
I've heard a couple times from Joe, others, they were looking for Cam to hit the ball in the air. They wanted him to focus on the process, and the results will come. And recently, positive outcomes for Cam. They feel like he's really started to come around, and he could go on a nice run right here.
DeGrom gets him on the 4-seamer for a strikeout. Cam's not the first guy DeGrom has struck out. He's got close to 2,000 in his career, 2 outs in the inning. Now word from Reliant.
Reliant, official energy provider of the Houston Astros.
A runner on first base with 2 outs, and Braden Shoemake, who tied the game at 1 with a sac fly his first time up. DeGrom making sure Taylor Trammell does not get an advantage, trying to steal a base with a good lead at first. Mentioned DeGrom had a skinny ERA here at home this year of 1.14. Gave up 1 run against Seattle, Pittsburgh, and New York in his first 3 starts at home this year, and then gave up no runs in 7 innings to the Cubs at home this 4th start. So this 2-run outburst, if you will, for the Astros, the most runs DeGrom has allowed in any of his 5 starts at home. He's ahead 0-2 on Shoemaker. Clark really wanted Trammell to try and get a bag if he could, but he has not been able to get a huge jump on him. It's 1-2. Ball struck well to right center field. Going back, Brandon Nimmo. He's near the wall. Also near the wall is Carter. And Carter covered a lot of ground to make that play and crashed against the wall right by the bullpen. Saved a run for the Rangers, but Yordan Alvarez with a big smile tying the game up at 2 as we head to the bottom half of the fourth. Bottom of the fourth inning, Mike Burrows with a 2-2 game now as he'll face the 5, 6, and 7 hitters due up in the inning. And a first batter, Berger lines one to Braden Shoemaker, who makes the catch on that line drive. Berger hit the ball hard twice. Nothing to show for it. He lined out to center his first time up.
Well, Berger likes the fastball, and he's hunting it early. Good play by Shoemaker on that ball hit to his left. Timed up that hop much better at third base. Not easy to do.
Now Evan Carter, the batter, he struck out his first time up. Carter goes after the first pitch. Rangers have been very aggressive against Burrows tonight on first pitch swings. It's 0-1. Schumacher looking on. His team snapped a 4-game losing streak last night with that 10-7 win. Crazy game in a lot of ways, not just because the Rangers led 8-0 and the Astros eventually got into their bullpen and needed a 4-out save from their closer. But rarely do you see 17 runs scored in a 2-hour and 25-minute game.
Yeah, that was impressive.
Both teams aggressive, and then when they weren't scoring runs, there were a lot of quick innings.
You get some good defense, that's a possibility, but I don't feel like we've seen too many games with 17 runs where you've gotten out of there in 2.5.
In Rangers history, that was the 3rd time that happened.
Really?
Yeah, ever.
Ever?
There's a strike, 2-2.
Pitch is called a strike. The batter's challenging.
Challenged by Evan Carter here. He feels like that pitch was off the plate, and no, that's going to be an accurate call by Quinn Wolcott.
Pitch is a strike. Texas has 1 challenge remaining.
So Rangers down to 1 challenge as Carter is incorrect in his challenge, and that one just missed off the plate. A close pitch. That'll be ball 4. So Evan Carter, a 1-out base runner.
This Saturday, 10,000 fans will receive a City Connect gym bag presented by Houston Methodist. Visit Astros.com/promotions for tickets now.
Pretty close pitch on that 3-2 pitch.
Yeah, it might have actually grabbed the edge, huh?
Ezekiel Duran, the batter. There's a strike, 0-1. Runner goes, and the pitch is swung on and missed. Vasquez couldn't find the grip. Carter, who leads the team in steals, is now 9 for 9 in stolen bases.
Picked a slider to run on. It looked like Christian Vasquez bolted out from behind home plate in good shape, but I think you're right, TK. Just never got a handle on it.
Fouls one the other way, stays 0-2. Dana Brown, when he was in the booth, was mentioning some of the rehab guys. Joey Loperfido is playing tonight for Sugarland. He's 1 for 1 with a walk so far in his first 2 plate appearances of the year as a Space Cowboy. He had been at AA Corpus Christi last week. Called third strike. That'll be out number 2 as Burrows picks up his second strikeout of the night.
It was an effective use of the two-seam fastball. Actually got in there and froze Ezekiel Duran. Kind of like how he started that at bat also. First 2 pitches were sliders. Kind of set up that fastball late.
So maybe working backwards.
Yeah, it might not be a bad idea. Find that one. If you've got an off-speed pitch you can get over for a strike early in a count, sometimes it can set up things later in the at-bat and take an aggressive team off your fastball early.
Danny Jansen, the catcher, bats here with a 1-1 count. He grounded out to third his first time up. Astros and Rangers tied at 2 as we play the bottom half of the 4th inning of Game 3 in this 4-game series.
Pitch is called a ball. Catcher challenging.
Christian Vasquez probably thought about challenging that 3-2 pitch that was called a ball to Evan Carter. He does challenge this one, and he gets it.
Pitches and strikes. Houston has 2 challenges remaining.
The confidence on that close of a pitch is impressive. I've got this.
Right. So looking at Burrow's first pitch selection on the year, fastball is 49.2% of the time. Curveball 20%, changeup 16.5, sliders 14.5. That ball hit hard but foul. So you're saying that maybe he mixes that percentage up a little bit and maybe goes to the off-speed stuff more to set up the fastball later in the count.
Yeah,
I like it.
Mix it up a little bit. I mean, because if you've got a pitcher throwing 50% of the chance to start the at bat, I'm going to go. Maybe guys are just saying I'm going to go sit on it.
And guys were 8 for 17 against the fastball first pitch coming into tonight.
Oh wow!
So yeah, and it's happened again. I think the very first pitch of the game was a Peterson single up the middle.
Well, and then Josh Young did the same thing.
Yep.
Brandon Nimmo got a changeup that he drove that run in with, but yeah, he's just got the whole thing is messing with the hitter's timing somehow. And if they're sitting on a particular pitch, throw something else to get them off of it.
97 on that last fastball.
He's got some life. And I also like the fact that he kind of maintains around what, 93 to 95, and then all of a sudden he could just go ahead and rip 97 through there. Kind of dig that.
Counts 2-2 on Jansen. And a foul tip caught by Vasquez for the final out of the inning. Burrow strikes out the last 2 he faces. Strands a runner at second. We're tied at 2 heading to the 5th. Houston Astros baseball on SCHN is presented by Rooms to Go. Get fashion, style, and quality, all at low prices on every item, every day. By Ram. See your Texas Ram dealer today. Nothing stops Texas. Nothing stops Ram. And by TxDOT. Buckle up day and night in every seat. Click it or ticket. Astros batting here in the 5th inning, and the Rangers making a couple of defensive changes. Ezekiel Duran is out of the game. Duran struck out looking in his last at bat, but he had started 25 straight games, but he's out here in the 5th. Justin Foscue taking over at second base, and Nicky Lopez in his first game as a Ranger moving from second base to shortstop. Well, that's concerning for the Rangers.
It's kind of weird. Something must have happened during that at bat. He didn't swing at strike 3 against Mike Burrows.
Jake Myers was called out on strikes his first time up. 4 strikeouts so far for DeGrom, 1 in every inning. First 2 were called strikeouts, last 2 swinging strikeouts. Jake tried to hold up, and he does. It's 2-1. He swings as Ramon De Jesus. Jake, Bryce Matthews, and Christian Vasquez facing Jacob DeGrom the second time. DeGrom, who does not walk many, in fact hasn't walked a leadoff hitter all season, in 59 plate appearances. Only pitcher with that many plate appearances who has not walked a leadoff hitter. He's 3-1 right now. The leadoff hitter in the 5th, Jake Myers. Oh, there you go. Streak had to end at some point, and it ends with Jake Myers drawing a 5-pitch walk. 59 straight plate appearances without walking the leadoff hitter until now. Bryce Matthews will try to make that leadoff walk hurt DeGrom as he bats here. Bryce hit the ball sharply, but grounded out his first time up. Bryce trying to bunt, bunts it foul. Last couple of nights, Bryce seeing the first 2 pitchers he saw in his major league career. His big league career started against Jack Leiter, and his second big league game was against Jacob deGrom.
Might try again right here.
Why not? That's the key, right?
Yeah. No, just make sure it's on the plate and you get that early bounce. So you've got speed over there in Jake Myers, but the earlier you get that bounce down, the better read it will be for Jake. And I'm not even opposed to him trying to maybe drag for a base hit. This speed plays is going to put pressure on the defense.
Not bunting here, taking a pitch down. It's 2-1.
I'm just kind of curious to see if you're going to have Myers on the move and maybe do a little hit and run. But 2-1. There's a couple of action counts, 1-0 and 2-1, because the pitcher doesn't want to fall to 2-0 or 3-1. So you might see some action right here. Nope.
Inside, all of a sudden DeGrom having trouble with his zone.
Yeah. Good job by Matthews.
What is going on? This guy rarely struggles with command.
He didn't throw too many sinkers either. That was a turbo sinker in chasing Matthews.
He's only had 4 walks in the month of May in 4 starts before tonight. Matthews now with a full count. 3 of those walks came in his last start in Anaheim in 3 innings. No walks in his previous 2 starts, including one against the Astros at Daikin Park.
That was an interesting line in LA, wasn't it? 3 walks, 2 home runs in that game.
Yeah, coming off the Astros hitting 4 the game before. This ball sent to center. Evan Carter came in, and now he'll drift back. And that is the first out of the inning. The Houston Astros are proud to honor Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Night at Daikin Park. It'll be this Friday. Visit Astros.com/AAPI for tickets and more information. There's Christian Vasquez, who struck out his first time up. He'll poke one into shallow right, playable for the new second baseman. Justin Foscue makes the catch for the second out. Now, word from Nava Group.
Don't get fooled by the loudest lawyer. Call me for a free consultation. Do not settle.
Here's Jeremy Pena, who hit his first home run of the season in last night's game. Jeremy hit one out as one of the 3 longest home runs here at this stadium in the last couple of seasons. Battle around the back of the Astros bullpen. Takes a call strike here. It's 0-1.
I think what made that even more impressive is who he hit it off of. Jacob Latz having a great year. Righty's not hitting him very well.
Jeremy did a pretty good job laying off it, but the call went against him on a pitch that might have been off the plate.
Yeah, it's tough to kind of challenge too, because it's right on the borderline.
You are spot on. Jacob Latz against righties, 3 for 46. Jeremy got him in a big way.
Man, did he.
There goes Myers. The pitch is swung on and fouled back to the screen. And that was one of the action pitches you talked about. Although it was 0-1. It should have been 1-0. But it was a call.
Yeah, true.
That pitch on the outside edge. The Astros trying to get something going with their running game. Just haven't been able to picked the right time to go against DeGrom. That one's down, 1-2. Jeremy has flied out to center and grounded out to short. That slider very prevalent when he faces right-hand hitters in 0-2 counts, 1-2 counts, and 2-2 counts. The percentages are 63, 63, and 65. So the majority of the pitches when he gets to a 2-strike count against righties are going to be that slider. As we showed you pregame, that has been effective against Pena going back to last season, but then he made adjustments in that last start in Houston. Runner goes again, and Pena stays alive on a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. Mile-an-hour fastball up would lend you to think it's going to be a slider down. And away. This one on the ground. Foscue makes the play for the final out of the inning. One walk, one left on. Astros halfway through, tied at 2 with the Rangers.
Hawaiian shirt presented by Doggett. Get your tickets now at astros.com/promotions. TK.
All right, Julia, bottom of the 5th inning, 2-2 game. Number 9 hitter, Nicky Lopez, who's now the shortstop, started the game at second base, fouls one away. This has been his first game as a Texas Ranger in his career. Started his career with the Royals. He's also played with the Braves, the White Sox, the Angels, and the Cubs. This year, his last major league game was with the Cubs here in Arlington, where they played the Rangers on May the 9th. It's been quite a journey for Nicky Lopez the last 2 years. This ball skied in the air to right field. Cam Smith drifting back, still going back. That was hit better than Cam thought, but it's still an out as he reaches the edge of the warning track to call that one in off the bat of Lopez. Lopez moving to shortstop, taking the place of Ezekiel Duran, and we hear he has an illness that has forced him out of the game. Now top of the order, John Peterson has been a problem tonight for Burrows. Peterson singled on the first pitch he saw tonight in the bottom of the 1st, and then homered on the second pitch he saw, his second time up. 3 pitches, 2 for 2, 2 runs scored. He has scored both the Rangers' runs. First pitch off the plate with the curveball, 1-0. Last time he hit a changeup out after seeing a first pitch curveball. Now he gets back-to-back curves. It's 1-1. Burrows, who had struggled second time through the lineup, gave up that home run to Peterson to start that second time through the lineup, but then no more hits allowed to the next 8 batters. There was 1 walk involved, but hitter's second time through tonight went just 1 for 8 with a walk, and that walk was kind of marginal. Could have been a strikeout.
Yep.
On the ground, and Peterson will be retired for the first time tonight as Walker flips to Burrows, covering for the second out. And now a word from Texas Mattress Makers.
Don't strike out on your sleep. Hit a home run every night on a mattress made by Texas Mattress Makers.
Burrows has been better as this game has gone along. Only Jock Peterson hurting him a couple of times, but he's been pretty good tonight. Alejandro Osuna bats here, 0 for 2 tonight.
Yeah, he's matching Jacob DeGrom.
Once he goes through that lineup a 3rd time, that's when his changeup usage starts to ramp up a little bit. As he delivers a strike here to Osuna, who's going to challenge.
Strike, batter challenging.
Rangers have lost one challenge earlier. ABS powered by T-Mobile is going to give us a look. And that is going to be
Calls confirmed. Pitches a strike.
a
Texas
second
has no
loss.
challenges remaining.
Quinn Wolcott's gotten them both right. Alejandro Osuna can't believe that got a piece of the strike zone, and now the Rangers have no more challenges.
But again, going back to the situation, you got nothing to work with the rest of the game.
0-2 pitch is slashing to left, and that is out number 3. Burrows has retired 5 straight, a 1-2-3 fifth. It'll be Yordan Alvarez leading off the 6th inning, followed by Christian Walker. Astros and Rangers tied at 2.
I talk a lot about how that first at bat can be a little bit of a reconnaissance mission for a hitter, and that's exactly what Yordan did. He had a chance to see the curveball, the four-seam fastball a couple of times, and then eventually he understood what they were trying to do to get him out with that slider. Here in the second at bat, he fouls off the slider looking for it, and once he gets to that 2-2 count, he has to fight a little bit, but he stays on that slider because the previous at bat he knew that they were going to go to that slider. He got one he could handle and did not miss any of it as he went into launch mode. It is just a very good job of going to school and keeping that mentality in that second at bat to be able to cover those pitches. But Yordan is just special.
He has 4 hits in this series. They have all been home runs, as he continues to torture Rangers pitching in this stadium. There is no active player with a higher OPS in this building than Yordan Alvarez, coming in at 1154, higher now with that home run his last time up. Swung through a curveball on the first pitch. He's now got a 1-1 count.
Pulled off that one. He was trying to hit that one out of the stadium, I think.
He's not swinging for singles tonight.
No. And that was that curveball. So there was a couple of miles an hour taken off that curveball. The last one at 82. The slider he hit out was at 92. But that's what he does. He forces you to throw your third and fourth best pitches to try and get him out.
Yordan 4 for 10 in the series, 4 home runs, 7 runs batted in. And he's got 3 career home runs against DeGrom. Not many hitters can say that. Especially in 8 at bats. That ball roped down the right field line, and that'll be his first hit that's not a home run. It gets to Nimmo in a hurry, so Yordan ends up with a single and a ball that hits the wall and right.
Well, first of all, he hit it too hard. Second of all, Brandon Nimmo's playing with his back pockets on the wall. And it just skipped right to him. But okay, so he swung and missed the curveball. Remember I said that? And he was way out in front. Do you realize what he just hit for a double? The curveball. That's recognition out of the hand. He's incredible. Man.
Well, Walker tried to hold up his swing, but goes too far and fouls it. It's 0-1. Walker has grounded out and flied out to center. Counts 1-1. Christian had his string of hitting a home run and driving in at least 3 runs snapped last night after 3 consecutive games with those stats. Tried to hold up here and went too far. Slider continues to be problematic for Walker when he faces DeGrom. It's 1-2. Well, a lefty, Alexander, warming up in the Rangers bullpen. As the Astros have done a good job. 23 pitches in the 4th, 17 pitches in the 5th, 40 pitches the last 2 innings for DeGrom. Alexander loosening up as DeGrom misses up and in. And if you're Christian Walker, you've got to be thinking along with a veteran. He's probably doing that to try and set me up for the slider.
Yeah, it's just a little show me four-seamer up out of the zone. Maybe they're getting Alexander up for Trammell.
He did throw him that slider, and Christian taps it slowly to short. And do they get the out? They might challenge this. Nicky Lopez did tag the bag after he grabbed the ball. He was ruled safe. But the Rangers might want to look at this, but that was close. It should have been a potential double play. Instead, they might not have gotten any outs. Now they're going to challenge. I think they did get there just in time.
Yeah, he might have been able to pick that up because he was on the bag while he was trying to find that baseball. Kicks it, but watch the feet. Actually gets that foot on the bag as he gets it inside the glove. Credit Jordan for hustling.
So they were able to get the one out on Jordan. Showing the replay here at Globe Life Field, and that makes the fans excited. Paul Clemens on the call. Tough call to make because the ball was jostling around, and Lopez did a good job adjusting with his foot on the bag.
Yeah, and you got the umpire on the inside of the diamond, so that play was kind of away from him.
It will be a good challenge by the Rangers. Astros will end up with a runner on first base and one out instead of first and second and two outs. Replay crew chiefs are Ron Copa and Alan Porter tonight. Saw another play earlier in the series where Jake Berger did not have control of the ball, and that took a little longer than I thought.
Yeah, very similar in the sense that they were trying to pick it up off the ground with their glove. I feel like that was in the glove before Jordan actually got there. He made Nicky Lopez pay for it.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. The runner is out. Texas will retain the challenge.
All right, Tyler Alexander's had plenty of time to warm up. Is he warming up for Trammell? No, doesn't appear that way. Taylor's going to hit here. He's got a double and a single tonight. He's 2 for 2 against DeGrom tonight and 3 for 4 in his career. Trammell has moved that season batting average up to 382, 13 for 34. Missing wide, 1-0.
You know, talking about those challenges that the Rangers have lost on the hitting side, that affects the pitcher.
Absolutely. Nothing you can do about a bad call now.
Nope.
Astros still have both of their challenges remaining. Now it's 1-1 on Trammell. Taylor playing his second game after 4 rehab games, returning from that right groin strain, which kept him out from April 21st through last night's game. Now down to the count, 1-2. On him with the fastball. 97-mile-an-hour fastball, getting Trammell for the second out of this inning. Strikeout number 5 for DeGrom and 2 outs in the 6th. DeGrom generally not a guy that the Rangers let get to 100 pitches, at least this year. His high total of any start is 94. He's done that 3 different times. He's at 92 right now. Might be his last batter with a lefty Braden Shoemake on deck. Whether he gets Cam Smith or not, this might be it for DeGrom.
It's understandable that the Rangers are going to be very protective of this right arm. He has had a myriad of injuries in the past.
Cam's got a 6-game hitting streak going. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Cam extended his hitting streak in his last at bat last night when he hit one 457 feet. Longest home run in this stadium since 2024 by any player, not just at Astros. 1-1 to count. Cam now has the second longest and the tied for 5th longest home run in the major leagues this year.
He doesn't get cheated.
Big swing, no contact as he misses a slider. It's 1-2. I mentioned the slider percentage for DeGrom against righties. Once he gets to the 2-strike count, Cam would probably see one in the next 2 pitches, if not both. Didn't get a chase there. It's 2-2. Did get a chase there, and that'll do it for the Astros in the 6th. DeGrom through 6 innings allows 2 runs tonight. The Astros and Rangers tied at 2. The Astros and Rangers finish off their series tomorrow night with Spencer Arrighetti taking on Nathan Eovaldi. Our coverage begins at 6:30 with the Astros pregame show presented by Toyota. SCHN and SCHN Plus are your home for Astros baseball. Mike Burrows starts out the bottom half of the 6th inning, coming off a 10-pitch 1-2-3 fit. He's retired 14 of the last 16 batters he has faced. As he'll deal with Brandon Nimmo here, who sends one to right field. Cam Smith drifts towards the line, has time to get under it, puts it away. One right fielder records an out on the other, and there's one away in the 6th. One thing about Mike Burrows is he has been able to give the Astros length in his starts. His last 3 starts on the road, at Boston 6 innings, at Cincinnati 7 innings, and at Minnesota 6 innings. Trying to go at least 6 innings tonight. He's got a good pitch count to get there at 75 right now. Even that start against Seattle at home 2 starts ago, where he gave up a career high 7 earned runs, he still ended up getting 17 outs, 5 2/3. And Plummer, when the starting pitcher goes at least 6 innings, as we saw Jason Alexander last night, that really can set your bullpen up for success.
Yeah, it does. It's a nice attribute to have. If you're a starter, it helps. I mean, I know the ERA gets inflated when you give up that many runs, but the more innings you tack on there, it's going to knock it down a little bit. But it's also like you're talking about, it'll give that bullpen a chance to not get buried and affect games in the future.
Astros made a roster move after Jason Alexander threw those 6 innings last night. He was sent back to Sugar Land, and the Astros adding a bullpen arm in Logan Banwine. Astros do have an off day coming up on Monday, which would have been the spot without an off day that Alexander's turn in the rotation would be due. Burrows gets a called 3rd strike. That is out number 2 in the inning, and strikeout number 4 for Mike.
Here's a look at some of Papa John's key ingredients. And the deeper you pitch in the game, the better your bullpen is. And you can see when starters go less than 5 2/3, that ERA at 6.26. If they go 6+, it drops down to 2.27. So not only is the bullpen happy, your ball club is pretty happy too, because typically if you're in the game that long, that means you're giving your team a chance to win.
And that's the thing with Burrows, and we talked about it briefly with Dana Brown. It just feels like there's a lot left in that tank that we haven't seen yet. I know the numbers against the fastball haven't been good this year, but if nothing else, with the numbers not where he wants to be, he continues to give the Astros deep starts. That ball grounded foul.
Yeah, so what you're saying is he understands how to pitch deep in games, which is a good thing. He can use all of his pitches. He can be efficient, sitting at 81 pitches right now through 5 2/3. And we all admire that he likes his fastball enough to throw it frequently. Just throw better fastballs and you'll be all right. He's pitching great today.
He's retired 16 of 18. Make it 17 of 19. Mike Burrows rolling along. That is now 9 in a row sent down by Mike as we head to the 7th inning in a 2-2 game.
League leaders are presented by Houston Methodist. Jacob deGrom, one of the better pitchers in the game for a long time. Hard to get him. Well, when you look at how many home runs he's allowed by team, the Astros now with 11. We saw 4 in the game on May 16th. Jordan Alvarez adding to that total. They're up to 11, but just in 6 games. Actually 5 games, because they've faced him 6 games, but in the last 5 games they've hit 11 home runs. I'm sure Jacob deGrom is very aware of that. Blummer?
I would imagine that's a big number in not very many games. But his night is done, and he's going to give way to the veteran Chris Martin. Here you see 10 games, a 7.56 ERA. Opponents hitting over 400 against him this season.
Braden Shoemake leading off. Hit the ball to center field twice. One was a sac fly, and one was a nice catch by Evan Carter as he had to go deep into right center field and came out of nowhere to catch one against the wall. This ball hit right to the second baseman, Justin Foscue. He'll make the play for the first out here in the 7th. Final line on Jacob deGrom: 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned, a walk and 6 strikeouts. The Shoemake sac fly tied the game at 1. The Jordan Alvarez home run tied the game at 2. deGrom now with 3 consecutive starts, bidding for his 100th career victory, and twice against the Astros he has been turned away. He'll end up with a no decision tonight. Jake Myers taking a called strike. Jake struck out and walked against deGrom today. He was the first batter that deGrom walked as a leadoff hitter this season. Jake fouls it away, down to the count 0-2. There is no action in the Astros bullpen, nor there should be, as Mike Burrows has been dealing. I mentioned going into break that he's retired 17 of the last 19 batters. It could be 18 out of 19 if Vasquez challenged that 3-2 call. It could be 18 out of 19 with only the Peterson home run, the lone hit since the first inning.
No, he's been very impressive.
These are some of the signs that get you excited about watching Burrows, and you look at the numbers. Fans at times can be frustrated with some of the numbers they have seen, but Burrows looking more like that guy we saw in spring training in a couple of these outings.
Yeah, you're right. Really hasn't had to rely on his best secondary pitch either, that changeup. He's been using them early and kind of to get ahead in some of these counts, but he's been pitching extremely well.
Kind of going with what you were talking about earlier, Blummer, with the pitching backwards, if you will.
Yeah, because 4 of his 5 strikeouts have been on the fastball. He's finished at bats with the fastball. And a couple of those, especially the last 2 strikeouts of Josh Young and Jake Berger, started him off with a changeup and a curveball.
This one into right. Brandon Nimmo makes the play for out number 2.
Let's play Astros trivia powered by Reliant. I'm going to ask you, the Astros and Rangers first met in 2001. Which Astros hit the first home run versus Texas? That's Astros trivia powered by Reliant.
Martin pitching for the second time in this series, now facing Bryce Matthews with 2 outs and nobody on. Bryce taking a pitch up for ball 1. Bryce grounding out and flying out to center field his first 2 at bats. Sends that one foul. Counts 1-1. Rangers led 1-0 after 1. Astros tied it at 1 after 2. Rangers took a 2-1 lead after 3, and the Astros tied it again in the 4th. No scoring from either side the last 2 innings. Bryce fouling that one away. It's 1-2. Martin in the game on Monday gave up a hit and a walk in his 1 inning of work, but did not allow a run to score.
This bullpen's been good for Skip Shoemaker and the Texas Rangers this season.
That ball punched into right field for a base hit. Bryce Matthews, nice job of 2-strike hitting there. That'll be a 2-out base runner.
Nice work. Bryce Matthews staying on this sweeper, just poking it the other way, a little bit off the outside edge, but able to extend and shoot it the other way to beat this defense.
Well, the strikeouts are going to be there with Bryce and Cam as the learning curve continues in their young careers, but I feel like Bryce has done a better job of cutting down on the strikeouts as the season has progressed.
He's gotten some hits in that 2-strike counts too, being able to just put it in play.
Christian Vasquez bats with 2 outs and a runner on first. Vasquez down in the count here, 0-2. Christian has faced Chris Martin before in a Braves uniform, a Cubs uniform, a Red Sox uniform, and a Rangers uniform. He has seen Martin with a lot of different teams. He's 2 for 4 against him with a strikeout. Two runs, 5 hits for Houston, 2 runs, 4 hits for the Rangers. Astros getting into the Rangers bullpen here in the 7th. Mike Burrows will start the 7th inning on the mound for the Astros. Nobody has thrown a warm-up pitch in the Astros pen tonight. Vasquez delivers a base hit to center field. Matthews will take the turn. He'll challenge Evan Carter. He'll go in head first, and he is safe. First and third with 2 outs on back-to-back singles from the 8-9 hitters.
Oh boy, Vasquez. Good hustle by Bryce too. Getting himself 90 feet closer by running right in front of Evan Carter. Trusting that speed and sliding in safely. Yeah, he went with intent the entire time. There was no hesitation. We check out the outfield arms. They're going to be presented by Lone Star College. Evan Carter. Well, I think we can confirm the green light with Bryce Matthews' speed as he ran right in front of him. They're going to test Osuna also. Not high velocity arms out there in center and left field. The better of the arms is out there in right field, so you might be a little more cautious with Memo, but I think in this tight a ball game, you're going to force the defense to maybe make some plays. We would love to see some action here with 2 outs and the top of the order up with a couple of base runners on.
Pena has faced Martin 4 times in his career. He's been on base 3 of those times. Single, walk, and a hit by pitch. The only time he was retired, struck out looking. So the Astros looking for a little 2-out magic here. Bryce Matthews a single to right field on a 2-out, 2-strike base hit. Christian Vasquez followed up with his own 2-out, 2-strike hit. And now Jeremy Pena bats in a tie game. Pena grounds one towards the hole. It's short. They go to second, and they'll get Vasquez on the fielder's choice. Astros strand 2 in the top half of the 7th inning. 7th inning stretch time here at Globe Life Field. We're tied at 2. Let's check in Houston in our Rooms to Go lounge with Esh and Bogey.
Stay good hands, replay. Jake Myers had to play one. Sometimes the toughest play is that ball hit right at you. This ball was hit well, and he had to go back straight over his head, reach up and snag that one out of the air to protect the efforts of Mike Burrows. Good play by Jake Myers out there in center field. A ball that was hit well. Mike Burrows is still out there as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning.
And Burrows has a career high of 7 innings. Happened against the Reds earlier this year. Never pitched 7 innings in a game in a Pirates uniform. Never more than 6 for Burrows with the Buccos. But now trying to go 7 innings for the 2nd time this year. The Astros will start the inning with bullpen action going. As he delivers a strike here to Evan Carter, it's 1-1. That is Brian King loosening up in the Astros pen as we begin the bottom half of the 7th inning in a tie game. Rangers do have 3 lefties at the top of their lineup. They also have Nicky Lopez at the bottom of the lineup, who's a lefty hitter. If Justin Foscue was still an option off the bench, you would think Lopez might be a candidate to be pinch hit for, but because they've already used Foscue with the injury to Ezekiel Duran, they could go with Michael Hellman as an infielder if they wanted to hit for the lefty Lopez, but we'll see. I think Burrows has at least the first 3 hitters, and we'll see what happens beyond that. Burrows' pitch count right now at 86. As he gets a strikeout here, that's 3 batters in a row. He's getting stronger as he goes. Burrows getting Evan Carter to start the 7th.
Last 3 hitters have started off with off speed and been finished off by the 4-seam fastball. He did a great job of sequencing with Vasquez right here. Started with the curveball for a ball, came back, changeup, and then put him away with the fastball.
They hear you in the dugout?
These guys are good. They know what they're doing. I'm encouraging it.
I love it.
Yeah, but I love having the conversation because that's what it's about.
You set the stage. You said if they pitch backwards, it might help out, and that's what's happened here.
Well, that first time through the order, they were raging on that fastball early. We talked about how aggressive they were swinging at the first couple of pitches, but this 3rd time through the order, it has been off speed more often.
Justin Foscue grounds to short for the 2nd out of the inning. Welcome your newest little fan to the Astros family with the Astros Rookies Club, presented by Houston Methodist. This program designed for newborns includes a bib, swaddle blanket, milestone markers, and Astros birth certificate. Join now at astros.com/rookies club. Mike Burrows, 19 of the last 21 sent down, and that's going to snap here. That's now 19 out of 22 as Danny Jansen has a 2-out base hit. Nicky Lopez, the left-hand hitting shortstop, is due up next. Brian King has been warming in the bullpen.
They got that pitch in there, but Danny Jansen has been swinging at every fastball that Mike Burrows has thrown, and he finally got one he could handle.
This ball popped high in the air on the infield. Burrows is going to get through 7 innings for the 2nd time in his career as he goes 7 tonight. He was really good against the Rangers. He'll leave in a 2-2 game after 7.
Here's the Honda drive of the game. Not shocking that it's Yordan Alvarez because we're playing right here at Globe Life Field. But he went to school on Jacob deGrom in that first at bat, made him pay in that second at bat. Got a slider and a 2-strike count. Just hit it a modest 428 feet to tie this ball game up. Has a chance to put the Astros ahead, but he's going to have to do it against a new pitcher. It is going to be left-hander Tyler Alexander. Has a 1.90 ERA, 293 opponent average against lefties, and then you add Yordan to the mix, and those numbers might elevate a little bit. The big home run last night off of Beeks, the other left-hander.
Yeah, Yordan has seen Alexander a bunch in his career. This is the 7th time they have gone head-to-head. Yordan is 2 for 5 with a sacrifice fly against the lefty Alexanders. Faced him as a member of the Tigers and with Tampa Bay before. Now first time he faces them with the Rangers, and he's got a 2-0 count here. Jordan facing a lefty as the first batter for that lefty to face out of the pen. Has put up some incredible numbers in his career. Now he's got a 2-0 count. And that is in, ball 3, 3-0. Alexander has not thrown him a strike yet. Jordan sends one to center field deep. Carter back, he's done it again. 5 bombs in 3 games. Air Jordan continues to get cleared for liftoff at DFW.
I got an idea. Stop pitching to him. That was a 3-0 sweeper on the outer third that he went out and smashed. You can't teach that. Yeah, just put up 4. Save yourself the pitch count in the ERA. This guy's unbelievable.
Second consecutive multi-home run game. 5 in this series. Even he has to stop himself from smiling on his way to the dugout because he knows he's in a zone in this stadium. My goodness. He was already the OPS leader in this building of all active hitters before tonight, and he's added 2 home runs in a single. Has Jeremy thought about what he can say about him yet?
Oh, but I'm jealous that he gets to hug him. 448 feet.
448. Everything he's hit this series has been over 400. With the exception of his single his last time up.
Do you think he's ever impressed with himself?
Maybe in this series.
He's got to be to that point, right?
5 home runs.
Kind of like, hey, I'm having a good series, guys.
5 home runs. I think he just took over the major league lead in home runs too. First to 20. We're going to get confirmation that Murakami doesn't have one for the White Sox.
At least in the American League. What's Schwarber at?
Oh yeah, Schwartz. I'm sorry. First to 20 in the American League.
Man, what in the world?
There's a strike.
He's still getting high fives.
That's a strike. Christian Walker is going to challenge. He thought that was off the plate.
Strike, batter's challenge.
Walker's already taken the elbow guard off. He's pretty confident in this challenge. He's been good this year, 4 for 6 in challenges.
Just go.
5 for 7.
Calls overturned, pitches the ball. Houston has 2 challenges remaining.
.3-0 and a sweeper from a left-hander. Put on the outside edge. He gets the arms extended. Oh, and just leans on it. Oh my gosh.
Correction, Jordan's second fastest in the AL at 20. Murakami did have one earlier today.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. Wow. They won 15-2, and he had his 20th against Adams for the Twins. So anyway, it's still an incredible series for Jordan. 5 home runs in 3 games. And gives the Astros a 3-2 lead here in the 8th. Showing bunt is Taylor Trammell. You don't often see a 4-hitter bunting late in the game, but again, Taylor Trammell has never hit 2, 3, or 4 in his career in the majors before tonight. So not your typical cleanup hitter. He's got a 1-1 count here.
And kind of playing the situation too, which you appreciate.
Gets it down, and it's a wide throw. That's going to advance Walker to third. The ball's in no man's land. Walker might score. He's going to come home, and the Astros take a 2-run lead. It's 4-2 on the wild throw by Alexander.
Incredible. Taylor Trammell sacrificing himself for the team, ends up at third base. And with the error, Christian Walker comes hustling all the way around from first. Alexander's there. He's got time. He just pulls it into the baseline, and Berger didn't pick him up. Nobody backing up first, and wow. This would be a great angle Berger's there in position, gives a good target, but once it gets past Foscue, it's off to the races.
The other thing that didn't happen there is Justin Foscue did not complete his role of backing up that throw. He started over there.
Correct.
He got behind the first baseman, but then he kind of stopped.
Yeah, you can't assume. You can't assume the play's going to be made.
Cam with a 1-1 count. Watch Foscue as we're going to see that same angle. He starts heading over. He's doing the right thing fundamentally. He's going to back up the first baseman, but he stops.
Well, once you realize you're not going to make the play, you've got to be able to get in line with where the throw is going to go, and he does not.
Now it's 2-1 on Cam. Astros trying to add to this 4-2 lead.
Yeah, Cam looking for something he could drive to the outfield. Almost got a cutter right there. So you've got to get into foul territory by a lot.
You're over there, you might as well back up the play. He thought he was initially going to possibly have to cover first, and then he peeled off of that and then did not continue to back up the play. Cam takes a close pitch in. It's now 3-2 on Smith.
You also hope that your right fielder's crashing in on the play also to back, just to be a secondary, backup valve if you need it.
Walker scoring from first on the throwing error. And now Cam taps one to short. They won't be able to score the run with the infield in. Cam out number 1 here in the 8th inning. So staying at third is Taylor Trammell. But Trammell did his job. He got the bunt down.
Yes.
He was going to get a sacrifice and still will. It'll be a sacrifice with the error. And then Alexander throwing the ball away, scoring a run. And now the Astros might get another one in this inning. They're going to send Isaac Paredes up as a pinch hitter. Isaac doesn't pinch hit very often, and as soon as Isaac was announced, Skip Schumacher came out of the dugout to bring in his righty. So a lot happening in this inning. Jordan with his 5th home run of the series, and an error scoring the 2nd run. Astros lead at 4-2. We'll have a new pitcher when we come back.
Astros fans can now stream Space City Home Network directly with SCHN Plus. No cable or satellite needed. Log on to SCHNplus.com to purchase the app directly. Already have Space City Home Network? You can download the app to access the content at no additional cost. Gavin Collier's coming into this game. He's inherited 3 runners this season and has not allowed them to score, but he's got a tough task right here with Isaac.
Isaac Paredes taking a close pitch. Again, the Rangers are out of challenges. It's 1-0 to Isaac as that was called a ball. Paredes pinch hitting for Braden Shoemake. Doesn't get an opportunity to pinch hit very often. But an infield in here with 1 out and a runner on third. And Paredes takes another pitch off the plate. It's 2-0. Isaac hitting for Braden Shoemake. Imagine that he will stay in the game and play third base. There's a strike. Isaac played his 50th game of the year last night. The Astros' first 56, now on as a pinch hitter in the 8th with the Astros up 4-2. That's up 3-1. Isaac has had 24 career at bats as a pinch hitter. He's 2 for 24, but a lot of those came early in his career. Fouls off the 3-1 pitch. Kind of frustrated with himself. Felt like he might have been able to send that to the outfield at 3-2. Got in on him as he pops it up to the second baseman Foscue for the second out. Paredes retired for out number 2. Trammell still at third base. Now a word from TxDOT.
Hook 'em. Gig 'em. Hook 'em. Gig 'em. Hook 'em.
So now the infield back. It'll take a hit from Jake Myers to get the run home. Jake 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. Grounds this one to third. One big hop for Josh Young. And he'll retire Myers to end the inning. But the Astros score 2. A Yordan Alvarez home run and an error by the Rangers make it a 2-run game.
For the Astros, getting save opportunities. Some reasons why are these numbers right here that he's posted going back to April 22nd. You see the ERA 1.42 in his last 11, collecting 5 saves through that. And pitching coach Josh Miller told me he's emotionless out there. That's a good thing. Just executing pitches, throwing strikes, and they love him against righties and lefties. He's shown he's capable in any role out of the bullpen. TK.
Well, he will have lefties due up in this inning, although we see a pinch hitter for Alejandro Osuna as the second hitter, but he'll get a lefty to start with Jock Peterson. But Julie is absolutely right. There is no discretion between lefties or righties. Brian King, if anything, has reverse splits the last 2 years and has been better against righties.
They just have a tough time with that slider. Kind of has that crossfire delivery to that glove side of the plate. Sometimes tough to square up.
Peterson scoring both of the runs for the Rangers. Single in the first inning. Came around on a Brandon Nimmo RBI base hit. Then he hit a home run in the third. Those were the only 2 runs allowed by Mike Burrows. Burrows was great tonight. 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk. This ball hit pretty well to right. Back on a Cam Smith, and Peterson has done it again. A 2 home run game tonight for Peterson. He has scored all 3 Rangers runs. And he now has 3 home runs himself in the last 2 games. He's trying to match Yordan Alvarez in this series. It's now a 1-run game, 4-3.
Well, he won't get there as far as distance is concerned. But he can match him solo home run for solo home run. And he's hit the off speed out over the heart of the plate hard tonight. He hit a changeup out over the heart of the plate off Mike Burrows. And this is a slider out over the heart of the plate.
Now a 1-run game with nobody out in the 8th inning, and Sam Haggerty will pinch hit for Alejandro Osuna. Haggerty, with his second appearance in this series, he actually pitched the 9th inning on Monday night. As the Astros won that game 9-0 with a 3-pitcher combined no-hitter. First 2 pitches from Brian King missing. It's 2-0 to Haggerty. Pitch walk from King. Following the home run by Peterson, now the Rangers have the tying run on base here. Still nobody out in the inning. We'll draw a visit from Christian Vasquez.
Plenty of arms to choose from. Brian King, Enyel De Los Santos, Brian Abreu, Nate Pearson. Those have been some high leverage guys that they've been able to go to. Vasquez out there to talk with Brian King, try and settle him down, maybe get a ground ball right here, but you've got plenty of options and you've got an idea of which pocket you want each reliever to go out there and face. Looks like Enyel might be getting loose right now for the Astros.
After Brandon Nimmo, who's hitting now, the Rangers have 4 of their next 5 hitters as right-hand hitters. It's 5 in a row off the plate delivered by King.
Ball. Catcher challenging.
Christian Vasquez doesn't believe that was off the plate. He got one right earlier, challenging this call. The Astros still have 2 remaining. ABS powered by T-Mobile. He clipped it.
Calls overturned, pitches the strike. Houston has 2 challenges remaining.
Vasquez has been a lot better in the last week or so at challenges after he figured it out the first few weeks of the season. But didn't have a very good percentage. So it's 0-1 to Nimmo instead of 1-0. And that's a strike. It's 0-2. Rangers out of challenges. Close, but just off 1-2. Tough pitch to take with an 0-2 count.
Yeah, just a hair up out of the zone. You're right, though.
Got him.
Went right back there with a better one at the top of the zone and got the chase. Nice.
King picks up the first out with a strikeout, and with all these righties coming up, Joe Espada going back to the bullpen.
Yeah, doubled up, went same spot and got it. Nimmo couldn't lay off.
Enyel De Los Santos will be called on here. King will face 3 batters in the inning, and De Los Santos will take over in a 1-run game.
Star Wars Night returns to Dyken Park this Saturday, featuring themed characters, special activities, and exclusive Star Wars bobblehead add-on package while supplies last. Learn more at astros.com/Star Wars. Enyel De Los Santos is coming into this game. Getting the pitch comm ready to go. 21st appearance, 4.29 is his ERA. 18 strikeouts to 4 walks in that time.
Josh Young, the first batter he will face. Young 1 for 3 today, has been the Rangers' best hitter all season long, coming in 4th in the American League with a .303 average and the team best .819 OPS. You can see his numbers against De Los Santos in his career. Now back, it's 1-1. So Enyel on here with 1 out in the 8th inning. In the past, before Nate Pearson was healthy, you would say the Astros are looking for a 5-out save, but you're not sure tonight because Pearson is definitely an option in that 9th inning. That's popped up, should be playable. Christian Walker drifts into foul territory and puts it away. That's the 2nd out of the inning. And a big out right there for De Los Santos and the Astros.
Nicely done.
Time to reveal the winner of tonight's Chevy Stropole. Who do you think the Astros' best defensive player has been this year? And Christian Walker getting over 50% of the vote. Cam Smith, who leads all non-center fielders in outs above average, finishing 3rd in the Stropole tonight. That shows you how good the defense has been from the other 2. There's Jake Berger. 2 outs, runner on first in a 1-run game, and he misses the slider 0-1. Challenged by Vasquez.
Just caught a ball. Catcher is challenging.
Either 0-2 or 1-1. Can the Astros still have 2 challenges remaining?
Pitches a strike. 2 challenges remaining.
Vasquez on a heater.
He really is. Oh, man, he has been in position, and he is tapping that helmet with confidence.
So now De Los Santos ahead 0-2 on Jake Berger. Berger leads the team with 56 strikeouts. Vasquez will go out and have a word with De Los Santos. Mentioned the options for Joe Espada in the ninth is to either stick with Enyel De Los Santos or possibly to go to Nate Pearson. Pearson is in his warm-up top, but also standing on the mound out in the Astros bullpen, knowing that he might be called on. Berger has struck out 3 of the 5 times he has faced De Los Santos, as he fouls that one away. There's Pearson. Got his first save with the Astros on this road trip. He was just activated on this trip as he picked up career save number 4 in Chicago, where he picked up his first career save. This one was against the Cubs. His first was against the White Sox. Swing and a foul tip caught by Vasquez. De Los Santos comes in and shuts the door. Keeps the game 4-3 Astros.
That bullpen working together. De Los Santos picking him up. A high heater beats him.
The DoNotSettle.com play of the game is presented by the Nava Law Group. We're having to pick between which Jordan home run here. So we're going to go with his second home run today. That was off the left-hander, Alexander, the Rio sweeper. Went a long way. 5th home run of the series. TK.
It's another case of Jordan being the first batter that a lefty faces out of the bullpen. And his numbers are extraordinary in his career when that happens. He needs 1 base runner this inning to get another at bat and have a chance to match his career high with 3 home runs in a game. Bryce Matthews leading off. Gavin Collier still out on the mound for the Rangers. He got the last 2 outs in the 8th. You can see Jordan is creeping up that list. He's already at 24, 1 behind Puma, as he had 2 of the last 2 nights. Matthews down in the count with that swing. It's 1-2. Bryce has a single in 3 at bats. Collier got 2 big outs in the 8th inning. He got Isaac Paredes as a pinch hitter to pop up with a runner on 3rd and 1 out. Then he got Jake Myers to ground out to end the inning. By the way, failed to mention last inning, Paredes did not stay in the game. Nick Allen came in defensively at 3rd base after Braden Shoemaker was pinch hit for by Paredes. That's up and in, and Bryce Matthews with a 3-2 count. It'll be Matthews, Christian Vasquez, then Jeremy Pena, and if anybody reaches, Jordan Alvarez. Ball 4. Matthews draws a leadoff walk. Here in the top half of the 9th inning, Astros up 1, would like to add a little insurance if they can. The way we laid out the choices for Joe Espada for who he wants in the 9th, it appears he's going to stick with Enyel De Los Santos for a 5-out save, as nobody is warming in the Astros pen here in the top of the 9th. Vasquez showing bunt and takes a strike. He's going to challenge as a hitter now.
Pitch is called a strike. Batter challenge.
So confident as a catcher with all these wins. He's going to go ahead and challenge ABS powered by T-Mobile. He's feeling hot and frisky.
Pitch is a strike. Houston has 1 challenge remaining.
Close one.
Astros do have the most overturned challenges as hitters in baseball, but they don't get that one overturned. So Vasquez down in the count 0-1. He showed bunt on that first pitch. Bunts it foul. And now the count's 0-2 on Vasquez. Astros seeing Gavin Collier for the first time in this series. A 25-year-old righty who made his big league debut this season. Swing and a miss. Vasquez unable to get the bunt down. Goes after a high fastball for the strikeout, out number 1.
Time to answer our trivia question, powered by Reliant. The Astros and Rangers first met in 2001, which Astros hit the first home run versus Texas. Moises Alou. There's an extra innings into that jet stream at the old stadium across the street into that Rangers bullpen.
There goes the runner. The pitch is a strike. The throw is in time to get Bryce Matthews trying to steal. Good throw by Danny Jansen. Matthews is out number 2 for now. He's waiting to see if the Astros challenge. They do not. So he is caught stealing.
That'll put a damper on the possibilities of Jordan hitting.
Now Jeremy Pena. 2 outs and the base is empty. Pena taking one wide. It's 1-1. Looking ahead to the Rangers in the bottom half of their 9th inning. They have the 6, 7, and 8 hitters due up. Evan Carter, Justin Foscue, and Danny Jansen due up. Payne is going to give Jordan a shot, though. JP3 with his first hit of the night. And with 2 outs, he will bring the big man to the plate.
It's only fitting that he gets another opportunity here. Good job by Jeremy Pena. Took a cutter down, was able to elevate that into left field.
Well, Plummer, they took your advice. He will not see a pitch.
Yep.
Even with a runner on first base.
He is getting the Barry Bonds treatment right here.
Skip Schumacher said, I've seen enough from 44 in this series. I'm going to put him on and put Jeremy Pena in the scoring position.
Pretty impressive stuff, but he's definitely earned the right to be intentionally walked.
So now Christian Walker can try to make them pay. With Pena's speed, any base hit to the outfield should add a run for the Astros. An incredible sign of respect. It made Astros first base coach Dave Clark amused.
Clarky enjoying being on the field watching Jordan do Jordan things.
Even with the OPS where it is, right around 420, or the on-base percentage right around where it is at 420 for Jordan, they have that much respect. They would send the runner into scoring position just so he doesn't hit one out against them for the 6th time in the series. That 8th intentional walk leads Major League Baseball. Walker down in the count 0-2 now. And that's off the plate, 1-2. Christian reached via walk last time. He's looking for his first hit tonight. He's 0 for 3. Christian leads the team with 40 runs batted in on the year. Got him on a fastball. Collier strikes out Christian Walker. Astros leave 2. We're going to head to the bottom of the 9th. 6, 7, 8 due up against Enyel De Los Santos. Houston Astros baseball on SCHN is presented by Uber Eats. Crust Pizza brings fresh flavor, bold vibes, and family fun to all fans across Texas. Order on Uber Eats. By Steel. Find your Steel dealer at steeldealers.com. And by Daly & Black. Has your home or business been denied, delayed, or underpaid by your insurance company? Call Daly & Black for your free consultation. Enyel De Los Santos back out there in the bottom half of the 9th inning, protecting a 4-3 lead. Evan Carter leading off. Carter fouls the first pitch away. It's 0-1. Santos got 2 outs last inning. A pop up to Christian Walker in foul territory and a strikeout of Jake Berger. Getting quickly ahead of Carter, 0-2. Santos facing Evan Carter for the first time in his career. Daniel's 3 saves this year have been a third of an inning, 1 clean inning, and then 1 1/3 innings. His last save coming against his former team in Cleveland on April 22nd. Tonight, looks like they may be asking him for an inning and 2/3. There is stirring, though, in the Astros bullpen as Steven Okert, who combined as part of that no-hitter in the first game of the series, beginning to loosen up.
That was a good time for that changeup. That previous pitch that was fouled off by Evan Carter was 97 from Enyel. I'd be at the top end of what we've seen from him this season. You got to speed him up. Tried to throw that changeup down and away. It was off the plate, but Evan Carter spoiled it.
Two and two the count. Got him. Big strikeout to start the bottom half of the 9th inning for Enyel De Los Santos. 1 away in the 9th.
How about tripling up on the changeup and throwing the best one, that last pitch? He had taken it to strike, and he swung and missed, and it was a strike.
Justin Foscue, who grounded out in his only at bat of this game, came on after Ezekiel Duran left with an illness. Foscue started the game yesterday at second base. Also started game 1 of the series playing second base. Pitch up around the shoulder blade. The count's 2-0 on Foscue.
Slider that didn't slide.
Rangers wanted to check if that maybe grazed the jersey. They are not going to challenge. It's 2-0. Behind Foscue is a right-hand hitter, Danny Jansen. There is a lefty beyond that. Not sure if Okert's up for the possibility of Nicky Lopez or possibly the hitter after that, Jock Peterson, if it gets that far. De Los Santos delivers a strike. It's 2-1.
Paint job at 97, down and in, 2-0.
Foscue grounds one to short. Jeremy Pena's there. 2 outs in the 9th.
Our next telecast is presented by Kaplan Sinus Relief, and we're not done here in Texas yet. We will have another game tomorrow with coverage beginning at 6:30 p.m. as Spencer Arrighetti takes on Alvin Texan Nathan Eovaldi. Arrighetti having an incredible start to his season. 6-1 with a 1.32. Eovaldi 2-0 with a 0.66 ERA in his last couple of starts against the Astros.
First pitch fastball for a strike, 0-1. Jansen has faced De Los Santos twice. Once earlier this year, De Los Santos only threw him fastballs. Got him to pop up. Threw him a fastball off the plate here. It's 1-1. Astros scored 2 runs in the 8th inning. A home run by Yordan Alvarez made it 3-2. Then they scored the 4th run on an error. Tyler Alexander threw the ball down the line and right after a bunt by Taylor Trammell. That made it 4-2. Right now, it's a difference in this game in a 4-3 contest. Swing and a miss. It's 2-2. Right hand hitting Kyle Higashioka is on deck to hit for Nicky Lopez if it gets to him. Now the Astros 1 strike away. De Los Santos looking for his 4th save of the year, looking for a 5-out save tonight. Ball game over. Astros win it 4-3. They continue on this great road trip. After losing 2 out of 3 in Minneapolis, they have now won 5 of their last 6, including 2 out of 3 here in Arlington. Blummer, that's a nice win in this Lone Star Series.
Yeah, that was a fun game to watch. Credit to Mike Burrows for giving the Astros a brilliant start, matching up with Jacob deGrom. As you see, Enyel picking up that 4th save of the season with a heater at the top at 96.5 miles an hour. 5-out save, and he's fired up, and so are the Astros. Great pitching, great bullpen, good defense, and some timely hitting. And 1 big error lead to that Astros win. That was a fun game.
Astros have now won 8 of their last 12, including 6 wins on the road trip. They guarantee a winning road trip no matter what happens tomorrow, but they will go for a series victory as well in the final game of this 4-game set. Astros post-game show presented by Whataburger will feature Kevin Eschenfelder and Brian Bogusevic. Julia Morales helping out with interviews. Post-game show next.